Good morning, everybody. You join me somewhere in the hills of Kentucky in an undisclosed location, and we're going wandering with Wandering Iron. Now, the first thing you should know is the space shuttle behind me is Mike's new van. And if you watched the last episode, you know that that's a very, very fancy van. So we're on our way home from that particular build, and we're going to see if we can't see some sights. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a deviation from normal tech guy slash mechanic slash tractor slash whatever this channel is this week content. And these roads are, well, shall we say bumpy. So it might be a little bit more shaky than normal because I'm filming this basically on my phone. But I thought this would be kind of a cool thing to do, to go down and, take a road trip. Mike's loving his new van. He's got a fridge in that thing. It's loaded to the gills with very nice amenities. And in point of fact, we're getting a hotel tonight, and he was pointing out that I have to spend money on a hotel, and he has a rolling hotel. So, yeah, I got that going for me. I'm not sure if that's good or not. But regardless, we're going to take a trip through a few scenic places as we traverse Kentucky, going back into Tennessee. We're going to stop at Memphis, see some streetcars and Sun Studios, and do some other things. And I'm going to see if there's any tech I can get into there, because I really like tech. Maybe some history tech. Sun Studios has got to have something. I mean, they record things, right?
As we left Kentucky, everything was going well. Well, that is until it wasn't. About midway through, we started getting a little bit of shift flare between first and second, but we knew somebody that was nearby and could help out.
So Mike called me and said, hey, this transmission's hard shifting between first and second. So y'all saw the K-Rolla. I called Jim, and he pulled over with the K-Rolla to check out the trans. It's fine. Everything's good. We're still going to make it to Memphis. Jim's going to head back to his place, but please go check out OBS Shipyard. Very good channel, and, maybe he'll put a square body on something else at some point. Most likely.
Or something more abominable.
While we're wandering with Wandering Iron, we set up Wandering Iron's LED panel, which kind of doesn't really show up on camera that well, but it scrolls Wandering Iron videos.
Wandering Iron YouTube.
Yes.
So, yeah. Which is pretty nice.
You'll get 0.1 subscribers doing that, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
0.1 for every 100 miles.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's how that works.
By the time we finally made it to Memphis, we were starving, and we thought, what would Canadian Dave do?
Yeah, this looks like the place, the Kooky Canuck. Dave, don't you be getting no ideas. So things happened. We decided to go to dinner at a really random place in Memphis. So instead of getting barbecue, and instead of getting American food, instead of getting Americana, we decided, let's go get some Canadian food because Dave would like it. The problem is that this food has American flair, so it's that much better than the Canadian food.
So much better than the Canadian food. I mean, honestly, I don't even think they can make it this good in Canada. I don't even know what this is, but it's definitely better here.
We love you, Dave.
We love you, Dave.
Good morning, everybody. It was a night. I did some sleep. Kind of diesel heater from the shop during the build kind of has me a little, we'll call it congested. But we're going to go to the Edge Motor Museum today, take a look at some really cool cars. They've agreed to open that up for us and show us some of their cars, and see if we can't find some tech in those cars. I know Wandering Iron over here is going to be very interested in like the Studebakers and the Dueselbergs and the, the things. But I want to see the technology. They have a Ford GT Mark II, and I kind of want to look at that. Slight detour this morning to straight up down at the Mississippi. Mike had to go down here to see the Mississippi and stick his feet in it. I'm not entirely sure why, but it's a lifelong dream, so we're doing it.
Mississippi egg.
I know. I stand corrected, Mike. This was actually a good idea for you to come put your tootsies in the Mississippi.
Look at this thing. Idea.
What in the heck? All right, here we go. Big Mike is going to fulfill a lifelong ambition, and he's going to put his tootsies in that. Now, fish have sex in this water, Mike. Are you okay with this?
I'm okay
all right.
with this. So many years driving trucks, all I ever did was cross over on that bridge right over there. And that's the I-40 bridge. And all I did was cross over the bridge. But I always wanted to sit by the Mississippi, put my feet in the water just for a minute. And I'm only going to get this opportunity once. There we are.
I don't know about just once, but You have accomplished the thing. Now, between you and I, guys, you see all that? All that over there. I'm not so sure I would be putting my feet in this water. And I'm going to point out one other thing. There's a dead fish right there. But Mike's done the thing. Mike, are you happy?
Yeah.
You have done the thing.
I've done the thing.
All right. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the other thing. This is my friend Fred, and Fred's been here this whole time. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Fred. In honor of you, we're going to go check out a pyramid.
And we're gonna also go say hi to your friends.
Yeah.
Who are very alive.
Rot in peace, Fred. Look at the size of this. If you're gonna hunt stuff, catch fish, or otherwise capture any critter known to man, I'm pretty sure you'll find the gear here. Didn't know I needed this in my life, but a steampunk catfish. I'll take it. I want you guys to just appreciate the scale of this thing. This is the biggest Bass Pro I have ever seen, I think. And it's got more areas to shop than I think I would ever probably need, to include a lodge for you to stay, a bowling alley, among other things. And I'll tell you right now, if you're in Memphis, come check this out. It's well worth it.
As we pulled up onto the Hot Wheels sign at the Edge Motor Museum, we didn't know what to expect. We got there thinking this was going to be like every other car museum we'd ever been in, but it wasn't. It was absolutely epic, and honestly, it deserved its own video. So, that's what's coming next. I'm going to make a full end-to-end video about this, and oh my god, do I recommend going here. Bob and Richard are amazing. They gave us free run of the place, and well, here's a preview. This museum is absolutely amazing. As you move up the curving walkway, you're greeted with shiny, pristine vehicles, all lovingly maintained by Richard and Bob, that will be here for generations to come. Bob says that he's going to get around to bringing all of his vehicles in here eventually if he has time. But, I mean, this is a pretty good selection so far, and Bob's will only make it better. In the middle, rotating pristinely, or even setting static, these cars stand as a testament to automotive engineering and technology. This is the party trick of the museum. Rotating cars, history in motion, and Mike's going to tell us a little bit about this one.
Oh crap.
Mike, tell us what is on the rotating assembly of, shininess down there.
It's a 1959 Devon Salvatore Salerno Special. It is a car that was hand-built. There were only about 10 of them or so made, I believe. And that number actually could be wrong. Somebody could look that up and probably get a better number for it. But supposedly, most of the cars that were built that were like that had a V8 engine in them. This one is special. It's a barn find.
Yep.
Had a barn fall on it at some point,
Yep.
is what I've been told. And also, this one has a Jeep 4-cylinder. The same kind of 4-cylinder that I drove in that Jeepster video.
Yes, it's the same 4-cylinder you would find in a Willis.
And a Willis. So Willis 4-cylinder, or what? No, that would be what's that name? Continental. It'd be a Continental 4-cylinder. So that's what's in a Willis, is a Continental 4-cylinder with a 3-speed.
I learned something new just
I know.
now. Yeah.
And this one has an overdrive, so it's not too bad, but it's not as fast as the V8 ones. So this one that's here at the museum is actually another person.
What is overdrive bias? What kind of tech is overdrive?
Well, overdrive is an extra gear essentially. So what it does is it takes your gear ratio and it drops it down to a lower ratio so that you can get lower RPM and a better fuel economy. Essentially, I think that's pretty much the point of overdrive.
So overdrive also was originally invented really just to cut down on fuel economy, because if you're running your motor 5,000 RPM all the time,
you don't want to do that.
It's going to wear out. It's going to blow up. You're going to buy a new car and spend a lot on fuel. So overdrive's a good thing. Higher
RPMs,
ratio gears.
Lower RPMs mean lower wear and tear. Lower RPMs mean a higher fuel economy.
That's it. And especially these days. I don't know if you passed a filling station recently, but
I'm driving a van that gets 12 miles to the gallon.
He is. But all right. So if you're ever in Memphis, come visit the Edge Motor Museum. This place is fantastic. Come see Richard, come see Bob. Bob's full of stories. Bob knows everything about every car in here. Richard is fantastic. And let us come in here for the asking, and I can't thank him enough. Now I am going to swing by, talk to him just a little bit if he wants to. If he wants to.
Yeah, we should get him at his 4-speed desk.
If he wants to, I'm going to get him at his 4-speed desk and we're going to do an interview. If not, then I'm going to wrap here and we'll see you on the road because we still have 6 hours to go to get his new van home.
That's right.
Richard definitely wanted to have an interview and talk about the work that's done at Edge Motor Museum and how they keep the history there alive. And I want to share the whole interview with you, but I'm going to save it for the next video. But I got to say, if you ever are in Memphis, go see Richard and Bob. You will thank me. And Bob, I did promise that I wouldn't record you, but you let me take a picture. So this is Bob. Go see him. Pick his brain. Mention thermosiphon systems. He'll know who sent you.
After an absolutely epic time at Edge Motor Museum in Memphis, Tennessee, please go check them out. Holy crap, you will thank me. Mike and I are back on the road. We are going to put down some rubber, hopefully, allegedly not have a wreck, and we are going to try to make tracks toward Texas because we got to get back tonight. We might see something else neat along the way, but I mean, that's what happens when you're wandering with Wandering Iron. Okay, day 2 of driving the Command Center Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
How you like it, Mike?
I love it. So it's like driving my living room. So
it looks like a living room.
Well, it feels like a living room. That's the other thing. I have my. I decided today's a flip-flop day.
Oh.
So while I'm driving, my flip-flops are off, and they're just pushed up over by the emergency brake pedal, and then my toesies, supposes they're sitting in roses.
Wait, didn't you just dip those in a river?
I did, yeah. Now it's all over the carpet.
Nobody drives the van but Mike.
Ah, yes. Magnificently, the Opulence arrives. Mike, did you enjoy your opulent journey home?
I did. This was quite comfortable.
It looks like
So
it.
it's very opulent.
Uh-huh.
As a matter of fact, we can opulence it up.
Oh, look. We got
Like,
all
yeah,
the lights
I got all
on.
the lights on
Look
now.
at that.
Check that out. So,
And there you have it. We've wandered home. I have successfully wandered there and back again with Wandering Iron, and he's come home with a brand new, to him, van.
Yeah.
I had fun.
I
had
did
a lot
too.
of fun.
I had a lot of fun.
And to the guys at the Epic Motors Museum in Memphis, thank you.
Edge Motor Museum.
Edge Motors.
Yeah, Edge Motor Museum.
Edge Motors Museum in Memphis.
Yeah.
I'll get it right in a minute. I've been driving a while, guys.
That's all right. Yeah, it's been 6 hours at least from there.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much for letting us come by. You guys were awesome, and I will honestly never forget that, and I'll
Place was
probably never
fantastic.
fail to stop in and see what you got that's new.
Yeah.
You got anything to say, Mike?
No, I'm just tired and ready to go home, probably.
Okay.
And I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my 89 van that's sitting under your carport.
Well, I mean, we have methods of doing that. One of them is a gooseneck.
Yeah.
Anyways, always remember, folks, kindness is free, tech is awesome, and sometimes you get a teched out opulent van.
Sometimes you do.